Right now at 6, Missouri has some encouraging news for families who rely on the WIC program.
And we've got some patchy fog out there, a bit of a cold start to the day. However, more sunshine later, not nearly as windy. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, voters in Chanute will soon head to the polls to decide on a new sales tax.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Thursday, October the 30th. So tomorrow's spooky day, the official spooky day. Depends, there are some days throughout the year that are spooky as well. But the official spooky day tomorrow, hopefully you are prepared for that. I know you said you are. I know we are. Hopefully folks at home are. Should be a lot of fun.
Have the candy ready.
Yeah, not going to be too bad of an evening at all. No. We'll get to your Halloween forecast in a moment. A quick note that I want to pass on now, and I'll pass on again tomorrow. And I know there are going to be some folks out there, you're not going to get this message when I deliver it. You all probably have seen the news about Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty, the changes that are taking place. It is by coincidence that news is coming at the same time that I am going to be gone the next 2 weeks. Yes. So tomorrow's my last day for a couple of weeks. I am coming back. I know with all those changes, people, if you tune in and I'm gone for 2 weeks, it might be a little weird, but whether it's for the better or worse, I will be coming back, but I will be gone the next couple of weeks. So if you like seeing me in the morning, don't panic. I'll return. If you don't, then you got 2 weeks where you don't have to worry about me being here. So.
We can't lose you that easily, Chris.
No, unfortunately, you can't. I'm here until they tell me not to be here. And I've got some information for you. It's the weather, and it's a little bit cold this morning, a little bit foggy here and there. We're going to start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh, where things aren't too bad. We have some clouds out there, and we know this because we've seen them. At least some of them. Otherwise, it looks good. Like I said, we get into those points, in the summertime and in the wintertime where it's like really cold or really hot, and these cameras are deceiving because it looks so nice. But it's really not if you go outside. It's pretty darn cold this morning. Not as cold as it can be in the wintertime here in the 4 states, but it's chilly. 7th and Rangeline, our camera there. If you look, there's just that light haze out there. There's some light fog. We'll show you the fog tracker in just a moment. A little more visible from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline. Again, it's not super dense, but you can definitely tell that there's at least some light fog out there. We have some frost advisories. Real quick reminder on that. Washington County in Oklahoma, and then Chautauqua, Elk, Greenwood, Coffee, Anderson, and Lynn counties in southeast Kansas. Now, these will go into effect early tomorrow morning and run through about 9 a.m., so do keep that in mind. As for the fog, it's been kind of running this belt from northwest to southeast, and we're getting some outside of that, but you can see it's actually expanding a bit. It was a little narrower in focus earlier. We've got Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, Fredonia, Fort Scott, Parsons, Pittsburgh, Joplin, Miami, Carthage, and Mount Vernon, Cassville, even into Anderson, Stockton, and Veda. Some reduced visibilities. And remember what we've talked about with the fog tracker. It relies on observation data. If there's no observation points, there may be denser fog in some locations that's not going to show up because there's not an observation station nearby to tell us about it. So low beams, not your high beams, and of course fog lights if you've got them. Clouds will clear as we head through the morning into the afternoon, and by late afternoon into the evening hours, clear skies. A pretty calm day, which is kind of nice, again, compared to how it's been the last few days. Cold start, though, as I mentioned. These temperatures, mid-upper 30s, got some low 40s down south out there, but then you factor in even a light breeze. It now feels like 30 in Yates Center, 31 in Chanute. Those are our 2 locations where it feels like it's below freezing. Otherwise, it's not that big of a deal, but in our northwestern counties, it does feel a little colder. So kids heading out the door, definitely want that coat. We'll be about 39, 51 by lunch and recess. Clear skies as they head home, 57. We're looking at about low 40s by 9, low 50s by noon, upper 50s for our highs. Could get a couple of lower 60s in our southern counties. Northwest winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow does look pretty good, a little bit chilly here and there. We're going to break down the Halloween forecast for you and take a look at this upcoming weekend where we could get a couple of showers here and there here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Missouri WIC families get reassurance today. Their benefits will continue at least a bit longer. The state confirms Missouri WIC benefits will extend into November despite federal funding challenges. In a news release, the state says cost-saving measures Missouri implemented at the beginning of October have allowed the state to extend the benefits to WIC families longer. The Missouri WIC program provides supplemental food, health care referrals, nutritional education, and breastfeeding support to qualifying women, infants, and children up to age 5. Fathers, grandparents, guardians, and foster parents may also apply for benefits for the children living in their household. According to the release, Missouri WIC families are encouraged to continue to attend appointments and redeem benefits using their WIC cards until further notice. Due to government funding cuts, our local pantries are working harder than ever to meet the growing needs of our neighbors. We're kicking off Feed the Four States campaign early this year to help. Scan the QR code to donate. Your donation goes to a pantry near you. A proposal on next week's ballot in Chanute, Kansas would add a small sales tax, and city leaders say it could play a big role in the community's growth. KUM's Blake Gulley explains the proposal.
Chanute city leaders say the proposed 0.15% city sales tax could help the community's economy continue to grow. The measure would direct the funding toward local development efforts with a focus on bringing and keeping businesses in town.
The purpose of the sales tax would be 100% to fund the Chanute Regional Development Authority. They would use that for the recruitment, retention of new and existing businesses, and also for their daily operations.
The mayor says the proposal is separate from the quarter-cent sales tax voters renewed in 2023, which supports maintenance and infrastructure projects. He believes the new tax is vital to sustaining economic growth and attracting more opportunities to Chanute.
I think it'd be very difficult for the city to fund economic development in our current state. So passing of this question and having that confidence within the city is absolutely vital for that continued growth and development.
If approved, the new sales tax will take effect in April 2026 and last for 5 years. Reporting in Chanute, Blake Gulley, KOAM News.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. President Trump meets face-to-face with Chinese President Xi Jinping after his week-long Asia trip. Plus, Elsbeth tackles a Halloween night mystery with a frightening discovery. The CBS spooky programming lineup later tonight. And cool and cloudy conditions across the 4 states. Chris has a look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch. President Trump is on his way back to Washington hours after his high-stakes meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The president described the nearly 2-hour-long meeting as friendly and announced that the two leaders could be close to signing a trade deal after reaching an understanding on multiple outstanding issues. President Trump says he plans to go to China sometime in April of next year. Ahead of the meeting, the president also announced plans to ramp up U.S. nuclear weapons testing. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
President Trump wrapped up his week-long trip to Asia with a much-anticipated face-to-face with Chinese President Xi Jinping.
I think we're going to have a fantastic relationship for a long period of time.
At the top of the high-stakes sit-down, the Chinese leader acknowledged that the world's 2 largest economies don't always see eye to eye, but noted a need for some cooperation.
I always believe that China's development goes hand in hand with your vision to make America great again.
After the nearly 2-hour-long meeting, President Trump told reporters the two countries could sign a trade deal soon, announcing plans to immediately cut its extra tariff on Chinese goods from 20% to 10%, after Beijing agreed to do more to stop the flow of chemicals used to make fentanyl. But few other details, as Trump signaled they'd settled issues over China's rare earth mineral exports, and that the two discussed computer chips and China restarting U.S. soybean purchases, a move that would help struggling American farmers.
We're losing money, and it's a very desperate time.
Ahead of the meeting, President Trump wrote on social media that he's directed the Pentagon to conduct nuclear weapons tests. It follows North Korea's announcement that it test-launched cruise missiles a day earlier, as well as recent missile tests by Russia. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Still to come, doctors practice stroke scenarios with actors at NYU Lagoon's simulation lab. Plus, cool and cloudy conditions. Chris has a look at your Thursday forecast. Harry Styles heads to Vegas and Sydney Sweeney steps into the ring. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you. Sydney Sweeney is back and stronger than ever, stepping into the role and ring as famed boxer Christy Martin in Christy. It shows the adversity and domestic violence Martin faced while becoming a trailblazer in the sport.
One of the biggest things we talk about on set is to be Christy strong, and I really hope that she inspires other people to be as strong as she was.
Christy heads to theaters next Friday. Harry, is that you? A wax figure of Harry Styles, tattoos and all, is now on display in Las Vegas. It took 9 months to construct this life-size mold of the singer-songwriter, and it's now available for viewing at the city's Madame Tussauds Museum. CBS is going full Halloween a day early. Tonight, Let's Make a Deal kicks off with special guests and 2 days of tricks and treats. In the evening, the aptly named show, Ghosts, takes a spooky turn.
You got the real deal right here, baby. We're ghosts.
The cast, along with their haunted mansion, is now in their 5th season. And Elsbeth is on the case for a Halloween night mystery and a frightening discovery.
Now, if you'll excuse me, these nice suburban ladies freak me out.
Catch each of today's Halloween episodes on CBS and Paramount Plus. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgardner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A good Halloween episode always helps get me ready for the season. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
We're dealing with some patchy fog out there this morning. We're also pretty cold this morning as well. Thankfully, not nearly as windy. We're going to break down your forecast, talk about today, of course, Halloween, and the trick-or-treat forecast, and our upcoming weekend as well, where we could get a couple of rain showers when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 6:16. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News at 6:19 now on this Thursday morning. We've switched over to the I-44 cameras in Joplin because you kind of get a better view of that fog. And again, it's not overly dense, but you can see exit 4, exit 6 at Main Street, exit 11 down by Flying J and Quick Trip, and then at Rangeline a little bit better, but we do have that patchy fog out there, and here's what it looks like on the fog tracker. We've got reduced visibilities. It started out as a little bit of a narrow swath from northwest to southeast right through here, but it's kind of growing a bit. So Iola, Fort Scott, Yates Center, Chanute, Parsons, Fredonia, Pittsburgh, Miami, Joplin, Carthage, Mount Vernon, down to Cassville. Some reduced visibilities. And remember, of course, the fog tracker relies on observation point data. If there's missing observation points, if there's a gap where maybe there isn't one, there could be denser fog mixed in with some of this. So do keep that in mind this morning. Low beams, not your high beams, of course. Fog lights if you've got them. Slow down. Give yourself time to get where you're going out there. All right. Also, early tomorrow morning through about 9 a.m., we have some frost advisories that'll go into effect. Washington County in northeastern Oklahoma, and then Chautauqua, Elk, Greenwood, Coffee, Anderson, and Lynn counties into southeast Kansas, because it's going to be a bit cold. Not like it's not already cold this morning. Could be a little cooler come tomorrow morning, especially for those counties there. All right, future track for today. We got some clouds, we got the fog, all that'll start to clear out. And as we head further into the afternoon and evening, we will have clear skies across the area, and those clear skies will continue as we head through the overnight hours and to start Halloween. Halloween itself, a mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies through the day. Nothing too crazy going on. As we get closer to trick-or-treat time, as you can see, clouds will begin to increase. Now, we're still expecting to stay dry for Halloween. Going to be a bit cloudy, but that's all right, because remember what the clouds do. Even though it's not going to be like really warm tomorrow, it'll be a little warmer tomorrow, and the clouds will help keep some of that in. Remember, it acts like a little bit of a thermal blanket. And so that means for trick-or-treating, it won't be that bad. I'll show you that forecast in a moment. Now, once we get beyond all that, you're asleep, you go to wake up next morning, we got some isolated shower chances starting about 2 a.m. Saturday morning. Again, not much out there, could last through about noon, and then eventually those showers will kick on out of here, and then we'll just have partly cloudy skies, a little bit cooler on Saturday as we go back down into the mid-50s. So how's our day looking today? It looks like this. Again, we'll have the clouds clearing. And again, you can see some of that light fog from 7th and Rangeline. We got upper 30s to start, upper 40s by 11 a.m. Our highs today ultimately into the upper 50s. Could we see a couple of low 60s? We sure could, but I think most of us are into the upper 50s with those northwest winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clear skies for the evening, mid 40s by 10, upper 30s overnight tonight. West winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. And as for that Halloween forecast, here's what we've got for you. The clouds, of course, increase, will be cloudy, but not too bad. Mid 50s by 7, low 50s 8 and 9. Dry conditions. Again, if you're like me, you don't like the cold too much, maybe put on a couple of layers underneath your Halloween costume, maybe a light jacket for the kids, just to be on the safe side, but otherwise not too bad. Here we go. Tomorrow, we got below 60s. By Saturday, we're going mid 50s Sunday. Next week, still expected to warm up a bit. As to exactly how warm we get, that's kind of still in question, but it is short-lived. We get another system next Friday, brings us a few shower chances, and knocks us back into the 50s by next Saturday. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Stress seems to go hand in hand with parenting. Many parents say a big source of their stress is feeling that their children do not listen to them. Experts have some advice. They say using the XYZ technique to target the behavior and not the person may help parents' communication more effectively.
You're not character assassinating, you're focusing on the behavior. In situation X, when you did Y, I felt Z. You're making it about a situation and the impact it had on you.
Experts say the sandwich technique also goes a long way. That's when you praise your child, nudge them with a correction, and end with encouragement to help them feel capable and not criticized. The risk of heart attacks and stroke rises significantly in the weeks after catching the flu or COVID. A UCLA study found both the flu and COVID, as well as chronic infections like HIV, raise the risk for serious cardiovascular events. Researchers say the study highlights how critical it is to get vaccinated for flu and COVID. More than 4 in 5 women don't seek medical care for symptoms of menopause. A Mayo Clinic study found a third of women reported feeling moderate to very severe menopause symptoms, with sleep disturbances and weight gain being the most common issues. Researchers say there are safe and effective treatments available, but too often menopause symptoms go unrecognized and ignored. We know that sitting too long isn't good for your health, but what may help is a cup of hot chocolate. A University of Birmingham study found that flavorful, rich foods like cocoa, tea, berries, and apples can help improve vascular function in men who are spending for too long periods during the day. Sedentary behavior can lead to a risk of heart disease and strokes. On this World Stroke Day, experts are emphasizing that treating strokes immediately is critical, which means recognizing the early warning signs is key. Now, a new study is helping patients get the care they need sooner, using actors to simulate real-life scenarios for hospital staff. Michael George has more.
What's going on?
This woman's husband brought her to the emergency room.
This has been going on for like 45 minutes.
With signs of stroke.
Can you give me a big smile?
But the couple are actually actors. This is the simulation lab at NYU Langone Hospital, Long Island, where healthcare providers practice real-life stroke scenarios to see how quickly they can recognize the warning signs and act.
To identify knowledge gaps, address those knowledge gaps, and then work through the processes in a very safe environment where patients don't get harmed.
The patient in this scenario is experiencing a type of stroke which can be treated with a clot-busting drug or a procedure to remove the clot. Dr. Levi Digert and his team are watching as these neurology residents respond.
Part of the simulation is actually not only to recognize that they're having a stroke, but they're having a stroke that could be amendable to this new treatment, which is mechanical thrombectomy.
And research shows the program is reducing the time from when the patient comes in to getting the treatment.
We went from 90 minutes to 80 minutes. And we know that in the world of stroke, 10 minutes makes all the difference. It means you can get out of the hospital sooner, recover faster.
We're going to reach out to our neuro IR team and let them know that this possibly could be a stroke.
Fawaz Siddiqui says the simulations are helping him build a foundation to apply to his future patients.
All of it works to make you a better physician, better resident, and obviously improve patient outcomes.
Vision was going in and out. I had a huge headache at that point, and I couldn't talk.
The research hits home for Andrew Cunningham. He suffered a stroke last year at just 27.
There's no really other deficits that I do have besides the slurred speech and random headaches that I do have.
He credits getting the right care right away for his remarkable recovery. Michael George, CBS News.
It's estimated that more than 795,000 people in the U.S. have a stroke each year. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, a Joplin garage sells cars for just $500 to help people get to work, and it's 6:30.
And speaking of 6:30, it's a bit foggy out there. Not too much from our camera at 7th and Rangeline, but we do have some patchy fog, and we got a cold start to the day. A little warmer this afternoon. Details coming up.
Plus, Pitt State Automotive Program receives a major boost in learning about dairy and livestock operations.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:29. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warder. It is Thursday, October 30th. Of course, you know tomorrow is Halloween, so big deal there. It's not going to be too bad for Halloween, but still a little chilly. We'll talk more about that later. But
it feels seasonal.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a little. Even though it is below normal, you're right. I mean, especially after the start of the month we had, where we were well above average for like 2.5 weeks, it does feel a little more like it's almost November. And of course, we're only a couple of days away from that. We are going to start though with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh, where we're looking good. Again, we've got patchy fog. We haven't really seen much from downtown Pittsburgh at this point, but you can see a little bit from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. In fact, just before we came on, it thickened up a wee bit, not significantly, but we saw a little more out there. MoDOT cameras around the metro area, though, you can see where we do have some of that fog from exit 11, so that's by Flying J Quick Trip heading down either 249 north or 49 south. Main Street exit at mile marker 6, you can see some of that fog. Same from exit 4, so this is looking back to the north along what would be Coyote heading up that way. You got 43 south and I-44 down there, and I-44 at Rangeline. Not looking as foggy, but still, that kind of goes into how quickly the visibilities can also change out there. We also have frost advisories. Want to touch on very quickly Washington County, and then Chautauqua, Elk, Greenwood, Coffee, Anderson, and Lynn counties in southeast Kansas. The latest of these run through 9. They'll kick in officially early tomorrow morning, but I want to give you that heads up now. If you got any plants out there, you just want to make sure you're prepared. This fog, again, started as a narrow band and has expanded in coverage from that center point. So Iola, Yates Center, Fredonia, Chanute, Fort Scott, Parsons, Pittsburgh, Nevada, Stockton, Carthage, Joplin, Miami, Grove, Anderson, Veneta, Cassville, Mount Vernon, Bentonville now, all with reduced visibilities. Independence, Nowata, Sedan, you're not doing so bad, but you get outside of that, and we do have that fog. And remember, there could be some patchy, dense fog in there, so low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them. Well, if clouds clearing out, of course, the fog will clear out as well. Eventually clear skies by late afternoon into the evening hours, and otherwise a pretty calm day compared to what we've had the last few days. But it is cold. We got upper 30s, few low 40s down there to start the day. And even though the winds are lighter, it's still contributing to a bit of a wind chill. Feels like 31, Fort Scott and Chanute. That's where it feels a little colder. We've got some 30s out there. Grove, Anderson, no impact from the wind. It's a pretty light breeze, but in some locations it is making a bit of a difference. So you want to grab that coat whether you're heading to work or the kids heading to school. 39 as they head out the door. 51 for lunch and recess. 57 as they head home later today. We'll go low 40s by 9, low 50s by noon. We're looking at highs, most of us into the upper 50s, couple of low 60s possible, and clearing skies later today with that northwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We're having another look at your forecast, talk about, of course, that trick-or-treating forecast, and about some rain showers possible Saturday here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Having a car can be very important. It can be the vehicle to get a person from the life they have to the life they want. KOAM's Ty Parks pulled into Higher Power Garage in Joplin, where they're helping people break some barriers.
Transportation is a barrier that many people have trouble getting across.
Think about it. If you live in Carl Junction or Webb City, and you need a good job, the good paying jobs are in the industrial parks or the commerce centers of the town. Very few low income housing is in those areas. So to get to those jobs is a challenge.
Higher Power Garage has a work program where people can apply to overcome that critical barrier. There are income requirements and classes the person is required to attend. Once a car becomes available, they can buy it for $500.
What we're doing is trying to build a sustainable system for these families to where they no longer have transportation as a barrier, so that they can get the good jobs that have the good benefits that provide for their families the way they need to be provided for.
Amber Cross is one of the families receiving a car today. She tells KOM what life was like without a car.
It's been a process. So for the last 9 years, it's been off and on, where I've only had a car, I think, twice through the process. And then just working with building bridges and having my support team is what led me to get to Higher Power Garage to get a car. Yes, and even just going on outings is going to be a big deal. Instead of walking with the kids, it's going to be a big deal just going to a park or just going to walking trails.
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Higher Power Garage says they require the cars to be purchased to give a sense of ownership to the buyers. Well, Case New Holland is giving Pittsburgh State University's automotive technology program a major boost, donating equipment worth nearly $300,000. The midsize tractor is aimed at dairy and livestock operations, using methane produced from the livestock as fuel. Representatives from CNH joined students and instructors to celebrate the donation. Wizards, superheroes, and dinosaurs take over the parking lot of Children's Haven in Joplin yesterday for a trunk-or-treat event. Students from the Crowder College Surgical Technology program helped hand out treats to all the boys and ghouls. The Halloween celebration provided fun for the community and for kids at the facility that provides safe care to area children while their families resolve crises. Democratic and Republican lawmakers continue to debate when and how to reopen the government. The shutdown is now entering its 30th day. At the heart of today's debate, SNAP food benefits. If the government doesn't reopen by November 1st, this coming Saturday, the Department of Agriculture says food assistance benefits will stop for 40 million Americans. There's a cautious sense of optimism surrounding food assistance programs right here in Missouri. But first, Olivia Ghazi has the report from Washington, D.C.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are facing off over the SNAP food assistance benefits that the Department of Agriculture says will expire on Saturday if the government does not reopen. Democratic leaders say the administration is acting recklessly in refusing to tap into the $5 billion contingency fund that Congress previously approved to keep the food aid program going.
Donald Trump has made the decision to let people across this country go hungry. Trump is telling 15 million hungry children, eat dirt.
Republicans say Democrats are at fault for refusing to reopen the government.
SNAP recipients shouldn't go without food. People should be getting paid in this country. And we've tried to do that 13 times. And you voted no 13 times. This isn't a political game. These are real people's lives that we're talking about.
More than 24 states are now suing to force the administration to continue to fund the SNAP program.
President Trump was asked about SNAP benefits during his trip to Asia and said that they would, in his words, get it done, but not until the government is reopened.
All they have to do is say, let's get back to business, and we're back. There's nothing to sign, there's nothing to negotiate.
While the political debate continues, food banks around the nation are struggling to keep up with demand.
People that are just anticipating that they're going to lose these resources, and they're trying to be proactive.
Thursday will mark day 30 of the government shutdown. Olivia Gazis, CBS News, Washington.
As of yesterday, there were reported signs of progress on ending the government shutdown for the first time in weeks, with senators expressing cautious optimism about bipartisan talks. Well, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News.
Halloween's approaching fast, but it's not too late to get a costume. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll show you where you can go coming up.
Plus, the Fed cuts rates to the lowest level since 2022, but recession signals flash warning. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, the Federal Reserve cut its benchmark interest rate by 1/4 percentage point Wednesday, bringing it to its lowest rate since 2022. Though Fed Chairman Jerome Powell cautioned that the move signaled that the central bank could slow down rate cuts, citing risks in the labor market. Recently, several major companies announced layoffs, including UPS, Target, Amazon, and Paramount, parent company of CBS News. ADP says private sector payrolls shrank by 32,000 jobs last month. NVIDIA is now the first publicly listed company to bypass $5 trillion in value after the tech giant's stocks rose 4.5% on Wednesday. It comes amid an artificial intelligence boom, with demand surging for the company's computer chips. Earlier this week, NVIDIA announced a partnership with another tech firm, Oracle, to build AI supercomputers for the energy department, and also a $1 billion investment in Nokia to develop a 6G AI platform. And Dunkin' has unveiled its 2025 holiday menu and includes new treats like the cookie butter cloud latte, the ultimate bacon jam breakfast sandwich, and the raspberry striped croissant. The chain is also bringing back favorites, the peppermint mocha and toasted white chocolate signature lattes, starting November 1st. Dunkin' is offering reward members seasonal savings on menu items every day through the end of December. Halloween is approaching fast, but there's still time to get a costume. KOAM's Kenny Foreman gives us an inside look at a one-stop shop for all your spooky needs.
For the past 25 years, Spooky Jake's here in Pittsburgh has opened its doors to partygoers and trick-or-treaters of all ages looking for last-minute costumes and accessories for an affordable price.
The last month has been the whole season, but it's been pretty steady. It's like most seasonal businesses, the closer you get to Halloween, people understand they have to go get their costume, or they need to go find the accessories for their costume.
Having a place where Halloween items are easily accessible for an entire month is important, especially when you consider that there's no such thing as too old for Halloween.
The university's having lots of different Halloween type functions. We see a lot of students come through, or if the schools are having different Halloween parties, we see those customers come through. And then there's a lot of adult parties where adults are coming through to buy their wigs.
And a supportive staff makes it even easier for people to find what they're looking for.
The people that run the place are very friendly. They helped us out a lot with the door decals and with the costs and stuff. And honestly, everything's really cheap and the selection is just outstanding.
Being that Halloween is a seasonal business, the store aims to make sure its customers remember the name year after year.
Our goal is to be able to sell more and make more profit, but most importantly bring the selection to the customer so they know where they want to come next year when they start their shopping process for Halloween or items to help them celebrate Halloween.
In Pittsburgh, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Spooky Jake's will remain open through Halloween. Operated by Jake's Fireworks, the business sells seasonal items during Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Christmas. Now here's Chris with a quick look at the forecast.
Yeah, we again have some patchy fog out there this morning. Not looking too bad from downtown Pittsburgh. We'll take a look at the fog, the rest of our forecast for today, and we'll have a look at your trick-or-treat forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. We'll also have birthdays and anniversaries to celebrate right after this. Time now is 6:44. We'll be right back. All right, time now for some Thursday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we are going to start in Radley, Kansas with Gia Vitt celebrating birthday number 7. Happy birthday.
And Lauren Jones is celebrating birthday number 13 in Joplin. Happy birthday, Lauren.
And Hallie Whaley in Nevada celebrating birthday number 16 today. Happy birthday.
And a very special birthday to Cooper Coffee, who's turning 17 in Alba, Missouri. Says, happy birthday, Coop. You're making Pop feel old. Love you, buddy.
And by the way, that's Tim, Cooper's dad
Yes.
there. And Tim is the one I always talk about in the back. So a very happy birthday to Cooper. I imagine he's probably just as cool as his dad is.
Yes.
Probably cooler, to be honest. I mean, Tim and I are close to the same age. He's got to be probably Definitely cooler is what Tim says. So a very happy birthday to you, Cooper. We also have Olivia Davis Sprague in Joplin celebrating birthday number 18 today. Very happy birthday to you.
And Brianna Thornton is turning 34 in Thayer, Kansas. Happy birthday, Brianna.
And Amanda Miller in Pittsburgh celebrating birthday number 46 today. Happy birthday, Amanda.
And Logan and Darcy Hensley are celebrating their first anniversary in Scammon, Kansas. Happy anniversary to you guys.
And then another anniversary, just a few years longer than that. Jimmy and Amanda Miller in Pittsburgh celebrating their 14th year of wedded bliss. A very happy anniversary to the Millers.
And then Presley Mitchell is also celebrating a very happy birthday today. Happy birthday, Presley.
And our list continues with Joyce Adair in Iola, celebrating birthday number 70 with love from your family at the Senior Center.
And JJ and Angela Carlinger are celebrating their 16th anniversary. Happy anniversary. Lots of love from your family.
All right, another fantastic, I always love these, another great list of birthdays, anniversaries out there. Of course, if you would like to celebrate with us, it's super easy to do, and Samantha has that information for you.
Yes, birthdays are my favorite part of every morning, so be sure to send those birthdays and anniversaries to the email you can see on your screen. That's birthdays@koamnewsnow.com, but be sure to pay attention to that deadline as well, so that way we can celebrate on the right day and also specify what day we're celebrating, because I know sometimes if you're like me, you plan a little bit early and you send it in early, so we want to make sure we celebrate on the right day as well.
Very important information there indeed, and I've got some important information for you as you head out the door for your commute to wherever it is you may be going. We do have some patchy fog. Now, from the Rangeline MoDOT camera, you can see it actually doesn't look too bad, but you go exit 4, so it's looking north, but we're heading, this will be 43 south, that's I-44, so of course heading back to Oklahoma that way. The Main Street exit down in the valley, the interstate level looks okay, there's some fog, but you get down a little lower, you can see a little more fog, and then exit 11, so that's going to be 249 north, 49 south. You can see where we've got some of that fog as well, and here's what it looks like. Again, it started as a pretty narrow band, roughly right through here, and it's expanded in coverage. Now we're getting some denser fog around Parsons, south of Chanute, east of Fredonia. We've got that, so we have reduced visibilities now. Parsons just under 2 miles, but we got Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, Fredonia, Fort Scott, Nevada, Stockton, Joplin, Pittsburgh, Carthage, Mount Vernon, Cassville, Anderson, Grove, Miami, Veneta, Bentonville. A lot of locations with reduced visibilities and a lot of varying visibilities as well. So that's why you want to go slow. Low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you got them, and watch out for that potential for rapidly changing visibilities on your drive as well. Kicking in early tomorrow morning and then running through at least 9 a.m. We do have some frost advisories. Washington County, Oklahoma, and then Chautauqua, Elk, Greenwood, Coffee, Anderson, and Lynn counties in southeast Kansas. So do keep that in mind as well. As for today, though, it doesn't look too bad out there. We'll have the fog burn off, of course. The skies will begin to clear, and by the afternoon, late afternoon, evening hours, clear skies across the area and not nearly as windy as it's been the last couple of days out there. Overnight, clear skies. Again, some frost is possible in some locations. Our Friday, a mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and then later in the evening, as we get close to heading out the door to trick or treat, the clouds work in, but remember those clouds, they work as that thermal blanket. They keep a little bit of that somewhat warmer air tomorrow locked in. So as you're trick-or-treating, it's going to be chilly, but not too awful. It's not going to be in the 30s. I can tell you that much right now. Now, as we go early Saturday morning, after about 1, 2 a.m., could get some isolated showers. So from about 1 a.m. Saturday through about noon, a few isolated showers out there will be possible. So we'll be starting mostly cloudy, and then skies will clear a bit. We'll be partly cloudy heading into Saturday afternoon and evening. Temperatures a little cooler out there as well. As we get our day started, again, some fog out there, mostly cloudy, upper 30s. Skies gradually clearing, upper 40s by 11 a.m. Got another look at your forecast. We'll break down that trick-or-treat forecast for you as well in just a moment, as well as your wake-up recap. And when we make the switch to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., October, that's the spookiest month, obviously. But there's one scary trend that's gaining traction year-round. More on the horror boom at the box office. That and a lot more at 7 a.m.
This is your Wake Up Recap for October 30th, your top stories to start your day. Missouri WIC benefits will continue into November despite federal funding challenges. State officials say cost-saving measures allowed the extension, and families should keep redeeming benefits as usual for now. The WIC program offers food, healthcare referrals, and support to women, infants, and children under 5. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And for today, we're looking at upper 50s, skies gradually clearing, so warmer but not where we should be. We'll have northwest winds 5 to 10. Clear skies through the evening. Back down mid-40s by 10 o'clock. Upper 30s for our lows tonight. West winds 5 to 10. If you're trick-or-treating tomorrow, some good news is the clouds as they build in will keep us slightly warmer. Not by a lot, but slightly. We're looking at 56 by 7. Low 50s 8 and 9. We're cloudy but dry if you're heading out to do some trick-or-treating. Just might want a couple of extra layers under that costume, especially, like I said, if you're like me, you don't like the cold weather, you'll want to be a little bit warmer. Could have a couple of morning showers on our Saturday. Otherwise, mid-50s, partly cloudy. Chilly on Sunday, warming up a bit next week, but that warm up next week is limited. As we get another system late Friday with some showers, then we drop back into the upper 50s by next Saturday. So not bad all in all. And Halloween at least looks to be pretty decent. A little chilly, but pretty decent.
You know, I was asking for those fall temperatures, and they are officially here.
They have certainly arrived.
Yes, well, thanks, Chris. Coming up today at noon, we're making a one-pot Italian feast in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings, where experts have a warning about crypto ATMs. Hear from a woman who was scammed out of $1,000 and why the D.C. Attorney General says a major ATM company is enabling it.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Emily Frankowski joins us with Connect Culture, is here to tell us about their lineup of shows and events you won't want to miss.
Plus, we've got a new addition to the Skywatch weather team. We're going to meet him in our 7 a.m. hour. I'm going to sit down with Donald O'Keefe, our new meteorologist. In fact, as I mentioned, I'll be gone the next couple of weeks. You'll get to see him in the next couple of weeks. We'll introduce him at 7. Otherwise, we will be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.